Hello, I'm Richard Bryan, and this is my 2000 year model, new Beetle. It's, of course, bright yellow, and I love the car. I've had it for several years now. And what we're going to be doing through this process is we're going to be taking you through a complete build-out, tear-down and build-out of the new Beetle as we get it ready to go on an 8-country tour into Central America. That's the United States, Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and then finally into Panama. It's going to be kind of an interesting journey. Hope everything goes well. Hope we have a safe trip. But the thing is, it's an adventure, and we need to take an adventure here. So we're going to take the car basically apart, and we're going to rebuild it, beef it up a little bit, so everything is ready to go on this extended 8-country tour. Going to start off with interior work. We're going to put a new headliner in the car. It needs it, but we'll also be able to run new wiring, antenna wiring for the antennas we're going to be placing in the car, and also for some front and back mounted camera systems that we're going to have back in the windows, front window and the rear window. So we'll be able to see everything going on in case there's an incident that happens. We'll have a recorded full-time version of that incident as it takes place. So no challenges as we go along the road. We're also going to be rebuilding the front seat on the car. I have a VR6 seat in it now, a leather one. I'm going to have that reupholstered so it's a little more solid. I like a firm seat, and we're going to make that happen. Also going to be putting in 2 types of sound deadening and soundproofing in the car. We're going to show you how to do that on a very economical basis. You don't have to go with the expensive stuff. You can come back and do it the stuff you find at Lowe's, Home Depot. And then we're also going to be installing some sound deadening material, not soundproofing, but also in addition to that, some sound deadening material under the carpeting. And we'll show you how to get that and get it glued in. I'm going to put that all the way through the car also. Then we're going to start with some avionics. I shouldn't say avionics. It's audio and video type of equipment. We're going to put a radio system in here that will allow us to have a moving map on it. It's going to have a flip-up screen, and it'll be a 7 or 8-inch screen. We'll be able to hook into our GPS systems and tell us exactly where we are and have full-time communications back to the United States. So if there's a challenge, we need a piece of something breaks on the car, we'll be able to get that to us immediately. And then we're going to pull the engine completely apart on the car, rebuild the head, and we're going to probably do a porting and polishing job on the head along with a stage 2 cam system on the head also. If you've been following the new Beetle at all, well, you can go back and check it out on TDI.com, excuse me, or wherever you'd like to. But you know we're putting out somewhere close to 200 horsepower on this motor already. And with the porting and polishing and with the stage 2 cam, we'll probably be really close, if not just a hair over that 200 horsepower mark. But it's reliable horsepower. This is not a hot rod. This is just a car that when you need the additional power, it's always going to be there. And we're going to run biodiesel all the way down. I'll make the biodiesel here in my garage, show you how to do that. And then we're going to put 100 gallons on a little trailer we're going to tow down. And that will get us all the way into Central America if the different governments allow us to take it across the border. I see no problem with that so far. And we'll be contacting some of the consulates here in the United States to make sure that's not going to be a problem. But if we can only get into southern Mexico, to the border between Guatemala and Mexico, that'll be about 2/3 of the way on biodiesel. And if we have to give the system up at that time, we will. Not a big deal. Also, we're going to take the engine and transmission completely out when we do that. And we're going to check the stage 2 clutch we have in there right now. Maybe, if we need it, we can go ahead and install a stage 3 plus clutch assembly. We also have 108 millimeter axles and flanges and whatnot we'll be putting in the car, along with a complete Audi TT front suspension for the caster and camber adjustments. And that will be the steering knuckle with the lower control arms, new ball joints that go along with that, and everything that goes along with the new suspension system in the front end. In the rear end, we're going to put, also in the front end, we're going to have new bearings, of course, and new hubs also for that system. And we're going to put new hubs and bearings in the rear end of the car. We currently have Belstein shock absorbers all the way around. I think that's going to be adequate. But if you know anybody out there that would like to donate a set of air shocks to put all the way around the car, that would be great, because we may get into some areas where we have some challenges with height in the road. I don't know yet. I don't anticipate that a lot, but it's always the possibility. We have a hybrid oil pan that we've put in to replace the old aluminum pan that can break so easily on these cars. And when we get into the lower end, we're of course going to put new rods, mains, front and rear seals, new oil pump, along with the new oil pump chain and tensioner. And I think we'll probably upgrade to the BEW pump. That allows for, it's a smaller gear on the pump, and what it does, it allows for more volume at lower RPMs on the engine, and that will help quite a bit, I think. New tires. We do have the HID 55 watt headlights in the car now. Super. If you have stock headlights in your car, get rid of them. You'll find out they're junk after you go to something like this. And then when we're all done, we're going to clean it up, install a trailer hitch system on the car, get our trailer all ready. And then whenever that time frame allows us to do that, we're going to head on towards Central America. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you come along for the ride, both mentally and, well, maybe not physically. Can't put too many people in the car. Anyway, I hope you come along with us and watch this build out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then as we progress through Mexico and the 7 other countries, we'll be taking video all the way. We're going to have a front and rear facing full-time video camera system in the car, and that'll make sure that there's no challenges along the road, because you know, you have to have that in case something happens along the road. You have a complete witness of anything that took place as you got into that situation and out of that situation. So we'll be having that system in place also. Can't think of much. Oh, we're going to put a new intercooler in the system. We have the small stock one on there now, and with that horsepower, I heat soak that thing so quickly, it's just not funny. So we're going to put a new large intercooler system on the car in front of the radiator. It's going to be a front mount intercooler system on a new Beetle. That'll be something not a lot of y'all have seen and experienced. And if you have a new Beetle, it'll be easy for you to do it also. We're going to take you through that. Just a few of the things we're going to be experiencing and doing here as we do the build out for this new Beetle and anticipate our trip down through 8 countries into Central America. So keep your thumb on your mouse and just watch us and learn. And if you have any suggestions, if you have family along the way into any of the 8 countries, we'd love to stop in and see them, because half of the journey is meeting the people and eating the food as we go down through Central America and in through Mexico. So if you have any folks you'd like us to meet, maybe stay with a few days, hit us back on the internet. That's TDI.com, VW Vortex, MyTurboDiesel.com, and NewBeetle.org. We'll be featuring all of this on all 4 of those forums, and you're welcome. And we encourage you to give us as much feedback as possible during this build up. Have a good week, and we'll be doing this. It's going to take us a few months to get it done. It's not an overnight thing, so just stick with us and follow us through this new Beetle build out for our trip to Panama, Central America.